Hello again in another episode of Gunfire TV. Sometimes our viewers, you guys, have requests about what kind of videos you would like to see, what kind of replicas we should show to you. And sometimes, maybe not as often as we would like, but sometimes we are able to answer those requests. So, today we would like to answer a question by a certain guy very close to our heart from Belgium, who always says that we don't show enough of ICS replicas on our channel. So today it'll be all about new replicas from ICS that just hit our warehouse. Let's start because there's a lot to show. Let's start with BLE-Vulture. It's of course GBB pistol. It works with green gas. Now it's all made of aluminum except those grip panels, which are made of polymer. Front side glows in the dark and the rear side is made using fiber optics, and that means that even if in those not very nice light conditions, you will be able to aim the pistol. This light, it's lightened with those cuts. You can see through the spring that goes around the barrel, external barrel. And while talking about external barrel, as you can see, it's not moving, and that's very, 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 very positive for your accuracy. Combined with 6.03 barrel, it's like a sniper pistol. The trigger is also adjustable, and the internals of the trigger, like hammer and other parts inside, are made of steel and compatible with Tokyo Marui. That means that you've got a lot of rounds to go through before anything wears out. Okay, next bad boy is called SAR9. That's from SARSILMAZ. I hope I'm pronouncing this right, because this one is licensed by a producer of real firearms from Turkey. So there are markings of the original all around. If you look on the slide, it resembles a certain Austrian pistol, and if you look at the bottom, at the grip, it resembles certain German pistol. Well, those two combined create a very nice platform. There is no external safety until you reload the gun. Now you can see the trigger safety mechanism and those red points which indicate that the pistol is already loaded. This is of course GBB, it uses green gas. We've got wrist rail on the bottom, and the frame is made of polymer like in the original, and of course the slide and the external barrel are made of aluminum. New Revo type valves allow you to shoot a lot of rounds from a single load of the magazine, and that combined with internal barrel that it's kind of fixed so it doesn't move during the shots, allows you to shoot very, very accurately with this replica. The rear sight and front sight glow in the dark. It's very, very easy to aim even if it's totally dark. Now, the grip is quite thin. My palm is a medium size and it feels like even a bit too small, but fear not, because in the box there is extra panel for those people who have larger hands. So, Turkish replica for your satisfaction. And now time for the last as for the pistols, and my favorite, Hi-Capa Challenger. Now, it runs with green gas, it's made of aluminum and polymer. The slide, which has also, of course, aluminum plate that works with different red dot sights, is made of aluminum. The frame also is made of aluminum, and on the bottom there is a wrist rail, for example, for a flashlight or laser, if you like those things. We've got grip that's made of polymer, and magwell which allows you to load the replica very fast, and even if you're not very exact, you will hit the right spot. Now, the iron sights glow in the dark. We've got here mag release, which is a bit longer than in typical 1911 or 2011, because this is double stack magazine. So if your fingers are quite short like mine, it works perfectly. And the safety is ambidextrous. As for the internals, you will be glad to hear that many parts are compatible with Tokyo Marui standards, so you can knock yourself out and buy a lot of extra parts produced by the best producers in the world. And the barrel, which is of course 6.03 precision barrel, is attached to the hop-up chamber, which accommodates Master Mod's hop-up bucking, air hop type. So 0.3 and heavier BBs will fly beautifully out of this bad boy. These are even recommended by the producer. So heavy hitter, better accuracy, and I think that with heavier BBs it's more likely that your opponent will, you know, put his hand up, because he will definitely feel that he was hit. All right, that's all for the pistols. Now let's go for longer guns. But before we do, let me show you the magic trick while you are hitting the bell, subscribing or commenting and leaving a like. Now here's a 14mm left-hand twist adapter made of steel, which comes with all of those 3 pistol replicas, and that's how you make it vanish. Yeah, it's still here, so yeah. But remember, like, subscribe, hit the bell and comment my magic trick. CXP-ARK S3. I swear, when I ever get a guy who is inventing all those codes for names for replicas, I swear, I'm gonna do something. Now, it may look a bit bulky, and it is, but it is very comfortable to use. We've got some steel parts like flash hider, like the most important part, so receiver and the sling attachment point. The rest that looks made out of steel is actually aluminum and what looks like polymer. So grip and pistol grip and magazine and the stock are made, of course, of high density polymer. M-lock here, M-lock here, and a bit of a wrist rail on the bottom in the front. I know the whole replica is not so new. You could see it before, but now inside there is new MOSFET with electronical trigger system, tactical safety and fire selector. Now on the top of the steel made top cover, we've got wrist rail that really holds zero really nice. It does not wobble. I mean, if you force it, you can feel it moving just a little bit, but for airsoft, well, I'm sure it's gonna hold zero just right. There is rear sight-ish thing here, but I'm sure you would rather like to use red dot or even a scope. And inside there is a mock-up of a slide. Of course, hop up here like in many other AK platforms. Now, what's thing that I like the most about this replica, it's the stock. It folds on the side like so. It's made of polymer, so it's light. You can adjust the length of pull and adjust the cheek panel here like so if the optics is higher, and it holds the battery. So many functions in one single device. But I hate the color of this replica, so that's what I would rather personally choose as for this replica. Black and olive, so a bit more camouflage is replica. But it's too modern for some of you users of airsoft replicas all over the world, so let's go a bit more vintage. Now, my personally favorite TOD-ARM. Again, names, couldn't you just call it like A7? Nevertheless, if you think you may saw this original firearm on pictures from Israel, you're totally right. The first and maybe only rifle with bottle opener. It works, except this one is twist off, so it doesn't work with this bottle, but it's very cool, especially if you live in a desert country. There are a lot of pieces of this replica made of steel, like the front sight, like the folding bipod that you can also detach quite fast if you don't need one. Let's be honest, we don't use a lot of bipod in airsoft. Now there is carrying handle. In original it would be very appreciated by soldiers because these were pretty darn heavy as for AK platforms. Now the magazine is made of steel, the trigger guard is made of steel, the top cover also is made of steel, and the part with a hinge, because this totally folds on the side, the stock folds on the side, is also made of steel. Unfortunately, the receiver is made of aluminum. Front grip that looks like very nice wood is actually made of very nice wood, and it feels great when you grab it. If you think, where could I put the battery, it's under the top cover here. So there's some storage for battery. Unfortunately, the gas tube is quite thin, so not every battery, maybe very small LiPo, will fit inside. But if you don't need to be very exact as for the original look of the replica, you may replace it with this one, which is a bit thicker. So less realism, more room for your battery. Charging handle is bent upwards, so it's reachable from left and right. Well, Israelis take care of their soldiers very well, and I really appreciate it. I would like other countries to take care of their soldiers. As for the sights, this took Russians about, I don't know, 50 years to take the rear sight on the rear of a gun. It is, of course, on the top cover, but this wobbles just teeny tiny bit, so with a battery inside, I'm sure it's gonna stop. We've got rear sight, it's a ghost ring sight, aperture sight, or a peep sight, whatever you like to call it. And we've got night sights, just like in original, like so. So if you place your rear sight in a middle position, you can use the night sights. I really adore this bad boy. But if you don't need a bipod, if you don't like wood on a front grip, if you would like it to be a bit simpler, this is a choice for you if you still want to stay with this famous Israeli line of rifles. So black polymer instead of wooden front grip. Now, which of those would be your favorite replicas and why? Write down in comments below. For me, for sure, the previous replica with the wooden grip and Hi-Capa, of course, if I could choose two. But it's only me. What is your idea? Write down in comments. Feel free to comment anything, even my magic tricks. I will see you again in another episode of Gunfire TV. Take care, guys.